she was asking for a phone. My parents were like, no, you're not old enough to have a phone. And so I was just like, wow. You know, I'm looking at my older siblings, and they have nothing ahead of them. We're not allowed to get jobs, not allowed to go to school. They have no life except living here on this little farm. They have no future. After that night, I just decided I couldn't live like that. I was not going to turn out like that. So I had an iPod, and I went down to my parents' room, and I snuck, when my mom wasn't there, and I snuck my grandpa's phone number. And since he had an iPhone, I could text him over Wi-Fi from my iPod. So I did, and I said, hey, when y'all come visit next weekend, I want to go back with you. I need help, like I need to get away from here. Can you take me back home with you? And he said he would.
So Grandpa is not of the same mind as your folks?
Well, they weren't really on board with how my parents did things, but they always kept coming to see us. And so I knew that they cared about me. And so I felt safe to reach out to them.
So the next week, her grandpa and her grandma show up at the farm.
And your plan was to just, what were you going to, bolt, or how were you going to do this?
I wanted to bolt.
Yeah, no, but like,
I just wanted to go. But my grandpa was like, you need to ask them first. You need to ask permission. So I did, and then they said, no, you can't go with them. And then, so I was like, okay, because I couldn't argue. And then I said, or my grandparents approached me and I said, do you still want to go? And I finally decided that I did.
As far as you know, you're the only one so far in the family history that might dare to act on these convictions.
Mm-hmm. No one had ever done anything like that in our family before. So, the next morning, September 24th, 2014, my mom was on her morning run, and my dad was in his office. He said he was always there working in the morning. So none of them were in the house. And my grandparents said goodbye to the rest of the kids. Then I just walked out the door with them.
With a luggage, or just with your regular?
Just one suitcase, yeah. My grandpa had texted my mom and was like, we're taking Faith with us, just wanted you to know. And then my mom texted him and said, don't go anywhere yet, I'm coming back. She had texted my dad, and then they both came and tried to get me to get out of the car. They were like, you have to get out of the car. And I was like, I don't have to. Like, well, yeah, you have to, because we're telling you to. I'm like, well, no. So they got in, and they actually asked my grandparents to get out. They were like, can you get out of the car and we'll get in so we can talk to her?
So you were alone in the car with your parents, then all the safety goes away right here.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I had on my side is that I was buckled in the car and refused to get out. I think they were just kind of shocked. I was so torn. I mean, it felt like I was just melting.
What was it that kept you in the seat?
I think it was just telling myself over and over that I knew it was the right thing to do, even though it didn't feel like it. I had to take control of my life. And after a while, my grandparents were like, we have to go. Like, we need to leave now. And so they left. Just drove away. Mm-hmm.
So these were like, this is what, 8 people that you were, 8 plus 2. So this is 10 people that you are.
Yeah, they're my entire world. Like, yeah.
I was astonished that she had the boldness to carry out that plan.
This is Jenny Ellenis, Faith's aunt, her mother's sister, who, like her grandparents, didn't really subscribe to the Pennington worldview, but she would visit them from time to time at the farm.
You know, for Faith, it's even more than just the boldness of leaving her family. She believed she was walking into this world that was bad, that was potentially...
And said, you watch whatever you want.
Now, Faith, she had never been allowed to pick her own TV shows.
No.
And so she turns it on.
You're looking for a place that gets full sun.
And she said it was like
8 to 10 hours of sunlight a day.
Like a gardening show or a home improvement show or something.
And she's sitting there thinking,
I don't know if this is bad for me.
Exactly.
Well, just pour a little water on top, and if it drains away, you're great.
Should I be watching this?
Because that's kind of what my parents did. They would kind of dictate what was right, what was wrong. You know, when someone would do something, okay, that's wrong. Well, like, okay, that's right.
And now that moral compass was gone,
she suddenly wasn't sure what was good and what was bad anymore.
I am so tired of the way we relate to one another.
And 19 is a tough place to step into the world being that naive.
Just tell him you had sex with his wife. That'll count.
You know, she was asking me about sex. Like, how do you learn? I don't know anything.
I thought I knew what kind of man you were.
I didn't know anything.
Even the most basic social norms.
Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to act.
When she'd hang out with her cousin or other people her own age.
I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about. I didn't catch most of, like, the references they'd make.
All these other teenagers would be talking about
shows,
boys,
music,
movies,
school.
And Faith?
I had no idea.
She wanted to join this world we all live in, I mean, even in the most simple ways. She wanted to get a job and learn to drive, have an apartment